that's a really good question. I find a teacher is someone who has a vast knowledge of what they are doing. And it's not just with the material and art form of dance itself, but they have an education component behind their method of teaching. Versus an instructor, you're just coming in there and, you know, you're pretty much just teaching the 8 count and the step. And you're being instructed to instruct. Versus teaching, you are actually developing a talent. You are cultivating, you know, an artist and masterpiece. And that's how I kind of see it with teachers as well as choreographers. You know, it really depends on the lane that you're going down and who you are teaching to, and, you know, who's going to accept the material. I truly believe that training is very important, very, very important for a dancer to encompass all areas of dance. It's not just all of the classes, but understand the business ethics behind it, understand etiquette, all of those different things behind dance other than just the 8 count. You need to get proper training, formal education. You need to get that information so that you can have longevity outside of that 10-year span of your dance physical career. What are you going to do after that? How are you going to create a business outside of that? So, you know, it's training in different methods. It's dance training and it's also business training. You know, we're athletes, we're doctors, we're lawyers, we're all of this stuff. It's just that our process of matriculation may be just a little bit different, and it's creative and it's a bunch of different colors and all of that fabulous stuff. But so now that I've transitioned into this producer mentor role, I have found that it hasn't been the easiest thing for me to relax and do. And Daryl and I have had this conversation primarily because you know, I tend to not on purpose ostracize myself, but simply because I never had anybody guide me through the process. So that's another piece of me that I'm learning in terms of how to guide somebody else through the process, because I never had anybody give me that hand or that pat on the back, or you know, you're going the right way, or if I was steering too far to the left, you know, push me back over. So it's definitely a development process in myself, and I'm still kind of working in the experience of it. And what I mean by that is when I see one of my students, whether they're an adult or a young child, when I see something click for them and they get it, and not only do they get the dance material, but they also get the understanding behind it, like, it's like watching my child like take her first step. It's such a magical experience when I watch someone do that, because it's like, wow, my guidance and my help and my push help them. And sometimes I don't realize that it will, and so when it does, it's like, oh my God. And just watching my kids, my prodigy kids, you know, get trained up, in every day or every block of time that they come into the studio, and watching them like change, and when they see the change in their body, it's magnificent. Like, there's no other words, and I can't wait to be that dance teacher when they get older. They're like, oh, that crazy CICI Kelleigh, I can't stand her. She wore me out, but honey, I'm so happy she kicked ass, because now I look like this. So it's a wonderful thing. Patience. Yeah, patience. I was doing a gig with Wyclef Jean over in Haiti, and I remember we were in the caravan, and it was like an act of God. Like, we're driving down this like completely like crazy rocky road, and in huge print on the side of the street, like it was a big wall, it said patience. The reason why I say that, and I wish I had learned that, and I've learned it now, but I wish I had a more understanding of it when I was younger. When a gig doesn't come through, it's not necessarily because you didn't do something right. It's more or less that it's just not your time. And you have to be patient and study and trust your talent and trust everything that you have to get the next gig. And I would tell her to keep dreaming. I would tell her to trust herself. I tell her to trust herself. I tell her to trust her talent. Believe in the talent, but also put the talent in, you know, proper training, and put the talent around people that will empower her talent and make her strive to be stronger. I tell her to never get comfortable. Don't you dare get comfortable. I tell her to have a voice, to speak up. Put yourself in a situation where you will have to always swim. Don't sink. I'm actually very much an introvert. When I'm in the environment where I feel comfortable, yes. I'm also very traditional. I realize that in terms of, like, you know, inside of my home, I'm very traditional. I love to cook. I love to entertain. I was actually always known as being the quiet one. So I can be very quiet, very, very quiet if I don't know, you know, my surroundings. But inside of my environment, yeah, I'm a little crazy, just a little cray-cray. But it all comes with love. One of my favorite Bible verses is Matthew 17:20, I think. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And I say that because that's pretty much how I have, you know, for my adult life, how I have moved through life. And especially having, always having like a vision of what I want the future to look like. You have to have faith, because it's so massive sometimes that it's terrifying. I'll wake up at 2, 3 in the morning like almost in tears because it's so big, but God tends to put me in the most uncomfortable situations to get my emotions so like riled up that if I don't do something about it, it's gonna drive me crazy. And so I have to have faith in Him. And you know, sometimes that faith like is tiny, man. It's so tiny, but because it's so tiny and that little speck of faith is there, it's enough to make me go out and conquer. Truly, honestly, it truly is. And that's where Dare Dream Dance came from. You know, I'm daring to dream it, and my passion is dance. So it could be Dare Dream Sing, Dare Dream Soccer, it could be anything like that, but my passion is dance. So that's what Dare Dream Dance is, and it all came from, you know, that Bible verse. You got to have faith, and you have to will yourself to do it. And once you do that, and you see the fruits of your labor, it's just like, wow, it's great.
Sometimes